A very good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka on MTV Sports. Now today is the 21st of November 2012, and as you must have been realizing, we are getting closer and closer to Christmas. Of course, 10 days more for the Christmas month to begin, and I hope you're being all nice and good, because Santa won't come otherwise. But then with the chilly weather, things are looking good. I hope your week has been good as well as mine has been. So let's just take a look at some of the stories that's been happening over the week. Now, I'd like to focus a bit about the sports stories. Now, something that we've been missing out is the focus on the local sports arena and the schools sports news that has been happening. The cricket tournament, of course, the cricket league rather, the schools cricket league is in full flow, and we've got some stories for you lined up. Two brilliant bowling efforts from two students from Dharmasoka College managed to help them score a victory. Johan De Silva and Ramesh Mendis from Dharmasoka College registered a comfortable innings and 62 runs win over the Hevala Central. And moving on, now Kasun Vidura, one of the upcoming players in the schools arena, has been the star for Joseph Vaz once again against their match against Nalanda, which worked in favor of Joseph Vaz. And also moving on to basketball, the Inter-Institute Basketball Challenge will be held on the 25th of November at the Amal International Basketball Court. Now, talking about Inter-Institute, that's something that's been, institutes, right after students leave school, they join these institutes which offer a lot of private degrees, and sports has become a vital part of this, because they've understood that it's actually extracurriculars and academics together that actually helps the learning process of any child. And it'll be interesting to watch the Inter-Institute Basketball Challenge that will be worked off on the 25th of November at the Amal International Basketball Court. Now, also another big tournament happening in Colombo at the moment in terms of basketball, and the semi-finals was worked out. The Sri Lanka Air Force basketball team took on HSC Blacks team in the first playoff match at the Henry Pedris basketball courts. Now, the Carlton Cup, obviously, as you must be knowing, is something that's really powering basketball in Sri Lanka, and there's a lot of following for this. And the Air Force team has managed to reserve a berth in the finals by beating the HSC Blacks team in the first playoff match held at the Henry Pedris basketball courts. So that's a bit of a look about sports in general, and also a special feature story on the papare.com, which is very interesting, suggests that Sri Lanka should focus more on weightlifting, especially when it comes to the Asian and Commonwealth Games. As we all know, we had a lot of success in the Commonwealth as well a couple of years back, also in weightlifting arena. And what they're saying is that more focus should be kept on weightlifting, and that's something that Sri Lankans can excel in. Now, with that, we're going to head on to a short break. When we are back with the break, we're going to talk about something that's very important. We've been talking about this topic for a little while now. We've been getting different perspectives from different people, but let's take a small breather and come back on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. Now, what a way to start off your morning. And we took a look at some of the sports news and the sports stories, especially taking into consideration the schools arena. Now we're going to get on to something that's very hard hitting, something we've been talking about, as I mentioned earlier on. And we have in the studio Sarah Rumugam. Very good morning, Sarah. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, and Sarah also happens to be a personal friend of mine, and in the process of hosting the show, I've had a lot of personal friends coming on. So Sarah, would you just like to just straight away cut to the chase, just a brief introduction on what exactly your work at the moment includes and what we're going to talk about today?
Actually, today we are going to highlight on violence against women, and also I will highlight some of the situation mainly on violence against women in conflict, post-conflict areas, and also maybe we can see into some of the recommendations, and also we can discuss about some of the work that we do to eliminate violence against women.
True enough. And talking about post-conflict areas now, it's been some time after the war has been ended, but then a lot of people gauge the development or the process of reconciliation and all that in terms of what we can actually see, like the roads, the developments, the infrastructure. But I think you have a bit more insight into actually the social fabric and the society in general. So would you just like to comment on what the situation really is?
Yes, of course, Mivan. Actually, the YWCA has been working on violence against women throughout its history, and also it is one of the priority areas for YWCA to work on violence against women. And we have started working in post-conflict areas since 2010, and mainly we have revived some of our associations in post-conflict areas, and meantime we have been like really getting into the grassroots and really have been working with these women, and we really know the situation and the issues that these young women are facing. Especially we all know that in a conflict situation it is mostly women and children who get affected, and also they are more vulnerable to they are more prone to violence. And actually there are few crucial critical issues that they face. If I categorize them, like there has been an increase of violence during this post-conflict situation. As you said, like okay, we have had several developments and the infrastructure development is taking place, but still I think there's a lot that we need to do when it comes to psychosocial issues. So actually there has been a tremendous impact on economic stability, because I think with the demolition of infrastructure in these areas, that people face a lot of economic instability, which really contributes to violence against women. And also one of the areas that we need to really focus on is improving the access and the services, especially access to resources, for an example health, education, and recreation, and many other services. And apart from this, we can see that there has been drastic social changes in the society, because what I have been observed is that the North and East, these people have had a very rich culture, but we have noticed that gradually the values and the norms are really decreasing, and the standards are decreasing in these areas. So we really need to kind of highlight these things and really need to address. Well, when it comes to violence against women, there are many reasons which like contributes towards this. Well, one of the main things that I observe is the lack of security.
Right.
Because security and protection, especially for women and girls and children, is a crucial issue. Because actually we all know that in a situation of conflict, people displace, and actually this, when it comes to displacement, they have been facing this displacement continuously.
True enough. Actually, what I'd like to highlight more is that definitely in a post-conflict area, we get a lot of single parents, and those single parents generally tend to be single mothers. And as you mentioned, security is one of the crucial issues that they face in their day-to-day lives as well. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Actually, I think we really need to be very concerned of the situation of single mothers. And there are a lot of young war widows who are even below age of 40 years. And actually, I mean, among these widows, there are different issues that they face. I mean, young widows, they have to kind of look after their families, and they have the burden of taking care of the children and making a living for them. Plus, they have to protect themselves also from violence.
True enough. And it's interesting you brought up the fact about how they have to care and be the breadwinner, the sole breadwinner for the family. Now, just like to touch upon the economic aspect of it. how is the situation rather? How is the availability of jobs and employment for these women?
Yes, actually, when it comes to the economic situation of these women, the economic situation is very low. And when it comes to livelihood opportunities, even though there are opportunities, sometimes these women have other practical issues where they cannot get engaged with these livelihood projects, or to do any livelihood activities because of the other responsibilities that they have. Maybe they have to look after their children, and they have to educate them, and they have lost many of their family members. So, and also apart from that, they are displaced. So when they are displaced, they have lost everything, and they don't have permanent land, so they cannot build anything permanently. And also lack of skills, because most of these young women, they are not well educated, because actually some of them have got married when they were really, really young, because actually to escape from to be because they had this forceful recruitment. So to escape from that, they have got married during their young age, and they did not have the opportunity for education.
True enough, and they have to really start from scratch, and that's something that is a very big task, especially if you're going to manage your family also on your own. Now we're going to talk a bit about some of the recommendations that that in your opinion can be implemented, especially as you have been working with different organizations that focuses on women, and also since you're a lawyer, through the legal framework as well. Now we'll come to that those recommendations and detailed discussion about that, but just right about now we'll take a short break, and we'll be back on Good Morning Sri Lanka.